Okay, good day everyone, good day. Hopefully I'm being heard clearly. Hopefully my audio is good. Good day. Jumping straight into it. Look at for setups today on GBP JPY. Alright, thank you. Alright, nice. Alright, so jumping right straight into here on JPY, we can see that price is neatly coming down into this area of support right here. So I do think that at this point, sells are in order for continuations all the way to the bottom here, right? I think there's more of a higher probability to see price actually reach below down into this level rather than seeing price just actually reverse anything on the charts right now, right? So impulsively, we could actually enter a trade right here. I just think for price to continue running down, that is something that a likely scenario for something to happen like that, right? So for me, this would be the trade setup for me here. Once we do get a bearish close below this level here of support, then we should see a continuation of price moving down with momentum all the way down into this take profit area, which we have at the major supportive level here, right? So I do think that price does have the opportunity to actually come all the way down here. So this is a trade setup for me right now. Stop loss is around 20 pips. Let's see if price could continue with this candle, and if we get stopped out, this would be the only thing that I'm looking to like re-enter at this current time. I don't see any reason to actually buy into this market right now, especially with the heavy bearishness that we're seeing, right? Since we had the interest rate decision yesterday, we saw price gradually continue moving downwards, right? We saw price moving down here. We had the interest rate decision, price spiked up a little bit, but then it pushed even further down. So going into today, I do think that we're most likely going to see a continuation of that move. There's a higher probability of seeing that happening rather than a full-on reversal of this current trend here. So for me, this is what I'll be looking at right now for possible sells. So this is the trade setup in a quick nutshell. And we'll see. We'll see how price decides to move. You could enter right now if you take a look here on the 30 minutes. Right, so we have like a better outlook here on the 30 minute. We see that price rejected from this level, pushed up. Then we pushed down on this bearish candle here. We closed bearishly below this level here, right? And now we're on the next 30-minute candle where we could see a continuation movement. So let's see what price decides to do here. Okay, let's take a look at some of the fundamentals that we have coming up today. Today is NFP, so obviously you need to be careful about the trades that you are taking and the amount of risk that you're paying towards each trade, right? NFP is notorious for having a lot of volatility as well as price just starts acting weird, right? So you need to be aware of how much risk you're paying towards any trade that you are in and protect your positions. Alright, so all we have is NFP coming up. We don't have any Euro news, so to speak of, or GP news really. And we have one speech coming up. But there's some things that can affect the overall market. Just NFP is the only thing that we have to pay attention to right now. Alright, that's coming out at 9:30 a.m. 5 hours from now. Let's check next week, what we have coming up next week. Next week, take a look real quick at next week what we have. So we have some retail sales for the euro. We have interest rates from the RBA. So for the 80, this is something that we could possibly, see a movement out of. Hold on, guys. Alright, so you could possibly see a movement out of on this for the RBA. Interest rate expected to go from 3.1% to 3.35, so an increase of 25 basis points. And we'll see how the market reacts to this, because remember, during yesterday, we saw the markets react to the interest rate increase. The GBP fell because of the monetary policy statement that we had afterwards, as well as the euro barely made any move from the interest rate increase. Right, it was within expectancy, nothing much going on. So we'll see how the RBA reacts, how the AED reacts to the interest rates actually being increased. Whether or not we get a continuation of movement, maybe some bullishness from the AED, it will depend on how risk sentiment is at that point of time. But for now, I don't think there's much to really expect from the interest rate increase for the AED. But we'll see what happens. Not much news to speak of, right? For next week. Next week seems like a pretty calm week. Then we have some CAD news on Friday, and that's about it. That's the only two set of things that we have really happening next week. Right, interest rate increase, retail sales, and CAD news. Everything else is just wouldn't really have much of an impact on markets, so I don't think there's much need to take it on. Let's take a look at some of the stuff here. Let me just set an alert. Let's see. Euro NZD, I am in a trade on this here right now, currently holding it. Price was in some profits, then we have this pullback here. I'm expecting this to go down, however, I'm not gonna hedge any bets. Right, maybe if we could get back to 2%, I'll just take my profits right there. Because at this point, price is ranging. It doesn't make much sense holding this, especially since we have all these big rejections trending top side here on the 4-hour time frame. If price manages to, pull back down into this area, yeah, I'll possibly take my profits and just go with this trade, because it doesn't make sense holding this with this sort of ranging movement, this range bound movement right now. So if you want, you could take this as a possible trade here. For price to come back down from this level. Take a look on the 15-minute time frame. So you can see we're kind of ranging back and forth. And not much to really speak of, right? Markets are relatively calm today. 80 CAD possible sell setup. I am willing to enter this to the long side. Right, for to the short side, for price to continue moving down back into these levels here. Again, not really much reason to be buy heavy on the 80, so sell setups looks like more something like more in an order rather than looking to buy this right now currently. This is something that I think has the potential to actually play out as well too here on 80 CAD as a possible trade setup. This was one trade that we had going on in the VIP group yesterday as well, AD USD. We took it around, I believe, right around here. right? So around 3.5%, 3% or something like that. But you see, price came all the way down to even 5%, which would have been great if we held. But you know, markets being markets, we started doing this kind of weird range and movement here, so we just took it at that 3.5% mark, that 3.5% tally. I think I actually have it somewhere here on the euro. 80 USD sell sub. Yeah, look at me. 80 USD sell, stop loss 10 pips entered. This was the trade setup here for the 80 USD. I can see it's the same levels, right? So 71093. 71093 entered right around here. Price pulled down, and I see we gradually came all the way back down here. So this was a good trade. Right, we started some nice little profits, reach around that 3% tally, and then we just closed here. And now we in the Euro USD setup, Euro NZD setup. Currently just waiting to see, you know, price come back down to that 2% level, and you know, possibly come out at that point. So yeah, markets have been okay to us today, this week. So that being said, I'm continuing forward. I like to take my time with the trade setups that we do see ourselves coming into today, and not over trade, right? Probably risk around like 2%, maybe 2 to 3% today, and that will be it. Because again, NFP, a lot of weird crap happens, so just to be keenly aware of that. We'll be taking our time. CGP, JPY. CGP, JPY pulling back here. Take a look at a 30-minute time frame. Alright, so price pulling up a little bit here currently. Right shy of the stop loss, and at this point you'll probably get hit right now. Get stopped out. So this is the thing with trading right before the market open, right? You get these sort of moves, these pullback moves at the supportive level rather than, you know, the continuation movements. So at this point, this is the thing, all right? Still sell side heavy on this. I would re-enter right into this position again for that sell side continuation. Now it's very possible that price may just reverse and continue moving upwards, right? Balance this off as a supportive level and bounce all the way back up. But in terms of like the overall movement, bearishness, and yeah, the overall market dynamic, I do see this continuing lower. Right, so re-entry right at that level would be good for those continuations. If you want to be more conservative, then you can wait for price to actually push a little bit lower, right? Maybe a little bit lower below here, and then actually enter the trade. Right, if you get a candle close below here, you pay stop loss right above this level, and then you just hold it down to this level, right, making this a 1 to 3.4. Right, so this is another possible trade idea here. So as price comes lower, right, if we do get that candle push low and we get a close lower here, right, get triggered in, then price should continue to the downside. Right, so again, this is same trade setup, not really changing anything in terms of bias for GJ. Just leaving my position and let it do its thing. I didn't get stopped out yet, but it's could probably get stopped out here. If that happens, same position entering, nothing really changes for me. But on Fridays, it's known to do rebounds and a lot of weird crap, right? So I won't be surprised if price does actually push higher from here or anything like that. But in terms of like the overall movement, I'm not trying to do any guesswork or anything like that. I'm using what's available to me, which is understanding the price action movement, the overall strength of the trend, which is a very strong long trend, and the overall price action, right? So if price does close lower, we should see a continuation with, the volatility volume actually pushing price lower, rather than trying to do some guesswork that price may make a support here and then reject and continue moving upwards, right? Because it could happen, but technically there's nothing supporting that, rather than just you you want like rather than just like you just want to see price follow with you with what you expect price to do or what you want price to do, right? So using information, you have to make a decision rather than you just wanting price to do what you want it to do. So we'll see. If there's anything you want to take a look at, let me know. If not, let me probably just end this early and come back for NFP, right? I have to do some things today, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it for the actual NFP news release, right? Because I have to do some things around 10 o'clock. I won't be at my desk to look at trades or anything like that, so I don't think I'll be able to join for the NFP actual news release. But afterwards we could see the movements and possibly getting a trade maybe around 1 o'clock or something like that before market close. We could get a possible trade set up depending. Yeah, at 9:30. I'll have to do something at 10 o'clock, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to see that through. Yeah, guys. So yeah, that's it. Not really much going on. We just waiting to see GJ hold the wall. Besides that, still in this year NCD trade. Hopefully we could see a target all the way to the TP today, which would be nice for a 5.8% winner. So we'll see. I'm just gonna leave it. Let's do its thing. And yeah, that's it. 80 card a possible trade setup here too, but I'm not gonna risk it right now. Just to be on the safe side. Again, doesn't make sense putting too much risk right now, given that it's Friday, is NFP. We'll see some volatility, we'll see some weird movements probably, and then that's it. NFP, we have the numbers expected to be less than the previous. So that being said, who knows how markets will react to that news, right? When the numbers are going to be less than the previous, we're probably going to see a continuation lower on the US dollar, for the US dollar, right? So maybe it might strengthen, maybe this might pull to the upside, or maybe price may just spike all the way down. So it's anybody's guess, which is why the best option will be to trade after the news itself does hit the market, right? Rather than trying to get ahead of it. We'll have to wait until the dust settles to actually make a decision, a well put decision. So that's basically it for me, guys. Right, so thank you for joining in. I'm gonna end it here because there's really not much going on right now. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate the patronage. We'll see what price decides to do here on GJ, and of course I'll keep you guys updated about whether the trade pans out or not, what happened afterwards, and continuing forward at the trades that we do get in for those in the VNP member group. We'll get into some trade setups if possible and see if we could get some potential gains. But that's it for me, guys. Really do appreciate it. Please feel free to leave a like. Thank you very much. Helps out the channel a lot. Helps the channel get recommended to anybody that's new in the trading space and wants to join a live stream where we actually take wins, right? So thank you very much, guys. See you next one. Peace.